Hi, everyone. Welcome to Childcare Unplugged, hosted by me, Chantel Pettengill. I created this podcast to help parents with any questions they may have about parenting, about daycare, and anything about child development. We also take, at the end, a couple moments to answer a question that parents typically have about childcare and maybe about our program specifically. We hope everyone had an amazing Thanksgiving. I know we did. We had a little bit of change of plans. My husband usually cooks and had a migraine on Thanksgiving Day. So we were lucky my parents were also cooking. So we went up to my parents' house, and then we also had our Thanksgiving on Friday for supper. So we had two Thanksgivings in our family for it. And with that, this time of year can be very busy and it can be very stressful for both parents and for families and for our littles. You know, between the stress of shopping, going to holiday events, just all the hustle and bustle that really might disrupt their little schedules and routines. It really can affect how they self-regulate their emotions. So I figured with this episode, I want to take a little bit of time to help parents, give them tips on how we can help children with self-regulation, help them get to a place of calm, and it will help us too as adults, because I know even myself, my emotions are a little bit higher just because of all the stress of making sure everything is done for the holidays. So one of the first tips that's important for us to do as adults is to model self-regulation. Children learn by example. So demonstrate calmness and self-control in your own behavior. You know, let them see that when you're frustrated or angry, show them how to health in a healthy way, deal with those emotions with it. The other big one is establish predictable routines. As difficult as this can be, our infants, toddlers, preschoolers thrive on routine. So try to create a predictable daily schedule that includes like regular meal times, regular naps, some play. You know, make sure even if you're on a tight schedule that you work in a little bit of time that they can just go to a playground and play, or bring toys that they can play at a party with. Knowing what to expect provides them a sense of security and aids in emotional regulation. We were the family that our littles slept in the car when we traveled, but we were able to give them that little bit of downtime when we were on the go, that they were able to sleep. There were times where my husband sat in the car with them while I ran into the store, just so they could get that little bit of nap time. And that's okay to do as well. There were times where we were headed to Freeport to go shopping. We made sure that we stopped in the middle and they ran around, or, you know, even as older kids, we did the ice skating rink while we were in the middle of shopping, just to give them that little bit of a break and downtime and that fun. And that really helps. With your older kids, give them the schedule for the day. What are they going to expect? You know, are you going to get up, eating breakfast, then you're going to go to grandma's house, and then you're going to do this. Tell them exactly what their day entails, so that way they can have that predictability within their day. Use simple language with your toddlers. They may struggle to express themselves verbally. Use simple and clear language to help them identify and communicate their feelings. For example, I can see that you're really upset. Can you tell me why? Or I can see that you're sad. What's making you so sad right now? And they'll be able to tell you in simple ways. Some other things is teach some basic emotional recognition. Help toddlers recognize and name their emotions. Sometimes when they're feeling frustrated, they don't know what they're feeling. Sometimes when they're angry, they don't know what they're feeling either. There's lots of picture books, drawings, facial expressions to help illustrate different feelings. This lays the foundation for them to express and understand their emotions. And at my center, all my classrooms have an emotional poster. So that way, when they're feeling something, they can go and point to what they're feeling to help explain that emotion to the teachers in the classroom. With picture books, if you don't have the book, look up on YouTube. There's plenty of books about emotions that are being read to the kids on there. It's a great way to use YouTube in a positive way. Play that for them. It's still giving them that literacy understanding of what the emotions that they're going through. The other thing too is provide choices. Offer toddlers choices whenever possible. I use it with my teachers when I'm training them at the daycare of if a child's giving you a hard time about going to get their diaper changed or going to use the potty and they have to go down the hallway, ask them, do you want to skip down the hallway or do you want to walk backwards? We give them choices that still get what you need out of them. So if it's walking to the car from the store, give them a choice on how they want to walk to the car in the store. It helps them feel a sense of control and autonomy. It helps reduce frustration. So sometimes it might be letting them choose between two snacks. It could be, do you want an apple or an orange? You want them to eat the fruit, but give them a choice of which fruit they want to eat. Or it could be, which two favorite toys do you want to play with right now? Or do you want to bring on the car ride with you? The other thing too is encourage positive coping strategies. Teach and encourage healthy ways to cope with strong emotions. These could be deep breathing, counting, hugging a favorite toy. These techniques can be a valuable tool for self-regulation. We do a lot of breathing exercises with our littles at the daycare, even at the toddler level. You could have them pretend to blow a dandelion seeds off. You could have them pretend to blow their birthday candles off. In my family newsletter to my families this month, we did one with a Christmas tree where they go down the garland where they breathe in, and then they trace their finger down the next one and they breathe out. And then they breathe in. You can Google it. There's tons of ideas to help you with this. And then also acknowledge and validate their emotions. Acknowledging and validating your toddler's emotions, even if they seem small or trivial, goes a long way. Let them know it's okay to feel a certain way. This validates and helps and builds emotional intelligence as well with it. And use visual cues like charts or diagrams to represent routines, activities, expectations. The visual support can help toddlers understand transitions and what to anticipate as well. The other thing you can do is establish a calm down space. Create a designated area where they can go and calm down when they're feeling overwhelmed. This could be a quiet corner with soft cushions or a cozy spot. When we did Christmases, when my littles were little, they're not so little anymore, we would go to my parents' house for holidays, and there would be the bedroom that they could go in and they could read books if they needed to or lay down on the bed. For them, just to help give them that little bit of space that they can go and be alone when things get a little bit overwhelming. The other thing too is celebrate small victories. Recognize and celebrate moments when your toddler is successfully regulating their emotions. Positive reinforcement such as praise or a small reward can motivate them to continue practicing their self-regulation. Hey, awesome job with that goes a long way. And then just make sure we're patient and consistent with them. Developing self-regulation does take time. It takes time even with us as adults as well. Be patient, consistent in your approach. Consistency helps toddlers understand expectations and reinforces positive behaviors. Also, do it with your toddler. If it's the breathing activities, participate with them. If you're doing yoga, participate with them. If you need to go for a walk, go for the walk with them. Read the books and stories or listen to the YouTube stories with them. The more you can do together really helps with teaching and reinforcing this behavior. And just remember that each toddler and child is unique, and what works for one may not work for the other, and that's okay. Just stay attuned to your child's individual needs and adapt your strategies accordingly. It will work. My two, we did a lot of this work with them. And we still do a lot of this work with them, and they're entering their teen years. But it really helps them when they're feeling frustrated now as teenagers in 6th and 7th grade, those middle school levels. It pays off in the long run. So keep working at it. Don't give up. So we're going to move to our question of the week. And this is one that we've been asked at both the schools, but we've also seen on some mom groups as well. Why does my baby sleep less at daycare? There are a few different reasons why this is happening. And most of them are positive, and that's okay. So the biggest one is they're exploring and learning. Your baby may be more alert and engaged in the daycare environment, exploring new surroundings, interacting with other children, participating in stimulating activities. This heightened engagement can lead to less sleep during daycare hours. The other thing is there's more opportunities for social interaction at daycare as well. Just because there's more kids, there's more adults, there's more talking and stimulation. It's a social setting where they can interact with their peers. Increased social interaction may contribute to a more active and awake state during daycare hours. They're also beginning to build independence, as daycare environments often encourage self-soothing and independent play at times. And your baby may be learning to soothe themselves to sleep or find comfort in new ways, contributing to shorter nap times. It's a normal and healthy part of development as your child increased wakefulness at daycare is a positive sign that they're developing in a healthy manner. It indicates that their responsiveness to the environment, engagement in the world around them. It's also, remember, just like with the soothing and self-regulation, that every baby's unique and sleeping patterns can be based on individual needs and development stages. They might sleep well as a 3-month-old and then hit 6 months and their nap times completely change. And then their naps change again when they turn 12 months. It's not necessarily a negative thing. It's just your baby is developing and hitting the needs for their developmental stage. Also, remember that some of the tricks that you use at home, daycare might not be able to use them just due to safe sleep regulations. So if you have any concerns about your sleep at daycare, open communication with your daycare provider can provide valuable insights and also help ensure your baby's well-being. And you might be able to help each other out and find tips and tricks that will work at daycare. So we hope you have an amazing rest of your week. And a great December. And we'll be back in 2 weeks with our next topic. All right, guys, have a good one. Bye.